Can't believe I'm saying this, but we're 5 years into Apple Silicon, and Apple has completely revamped their lineup and removed Intel from it completely. When Apple first introduced Apple Silicon, it was game-changing. Their focus on converting existing Intel users to Apple Silicon worked perfectly. But now they have a new challenge, converting existing Apple Silicon users. And here's the unexpected part. They've made the Mac so good that people don't need to upgrade anymore. And this is where things get tricky for Tim Cook and the people at Apple HQ. For those of you that are watching this on a MacBook, whether it's the OG M1 MacBook Air or the latest M4 MacBook Pro, when do you actually plan on upgrading? Leave a comment down below with what you think. Today, I'm diving into my own experience with Apple Silicon Macs and why most people don't need to upgrade, and how you could potentially save some money as well. Let's talk lifespan. Most Windows laptops get sluggish after 3 to 5 years, but what about the M1 MacBook Air? 5 years in, yes, you heard that right, the MacBook Air came out 5 years ago. That laptop is still a solid recommendation for students, casual users, and people that even do light content creation. You can get one refurbished for around £350, that's roughly $400. Insane value, and it still holds up in performance and battery life. If you own one of these OG M1 MacBook Airs, you really have no reason to upgrade except for the dated design. But that machine has you absolutely covered in terms of performance and battery life. Now, I am someone who's used both the M1 Pro and the M4 Pro MacBooks extensively. I'm a software engineer at my day job, so I've done quite a lot of full stack development on these machines, and I've also done content creation, mainly TikTok, but that involves video editing, photo editing, and graphic design as well. Which of those two machines do you think would have felt faster to me? Surprisingly, the M1 Pro machine felt smoother to me in my day-to-day usage than the M3 Pro machine. And the reason for this is simply the fact that the M1 Pro had 32GB of RAM, whereas the M3 Pro laptop had 18GB of RAM. My workflow, which includes video editing, graphic design, and full stack development, what I found was RAM was actually more important than chip when it comes to Apple Silicon Mac. And what this further suggests is that I really, for my workflow, do not need a machine that is more capable than the M1 Pro MacBook. That is how good the Apple Silicon Macs actually are. Now, these two laptops that I just talked about, I had to return them because they were from my workplace and I'm starting a new job next week. And because I'm still creating content in this time off that I have, I needed to buy a new MacBook. Because I'm used to using a MacBook Pro, I couldn't go with the MacBook Air. I ended up buying the M3 Pro MacBook Pro for £1,200, which is $1,600. Bought this while I was traveling in the US, and so that's how I was able to get such a good deal on it. And because of my experience with the other MacBooks, I know that this machine has more power than I'll ever need. And I know for a fact that I'm not going to be upgrading this machine anytime soon. If anything, I would have probably gone with a RAM upgrade, but I decided to opt for the 18GB base version to save even more money. This thing is solid, it's future-proof, it's going to last me at least 6 to 10 years, I'm so sure of it, unless it dies on me or breaks, but that's a different problem altogether. My point here is that if you're looking to buy a new MacBook, you should definitely consider older M-series MacBooks or even refurbished options. Really, all of these Apple Silicon machines are super powerful machines, whether it's the Airs or the Pros. Now, depending on your specific use case, you might want to go with the Pro instead of the Air. But my general point here is that the Apple Silicon machines are too damn good. And I feel like for the vast majority of people, let's say people that only use their MacBooks for browsing, watching videos, and everyday tasks, they can definitely get by with a refurbished M1 MacBook Air and save those £700. Maybe buy a new iPad or even like AirPod Pros for that money. I feel like for the vast majority of people that are casual users, they would not notice the difference between M1 and M2 or M3 or even M4 for that matter. And if you're someone who does heavier workflows and you're already using a M1 Pro, M2 Pro, M3 Pro, yes, there are absolutely performance gains when going from the M1 to the M4, for example. But the question is, do you really need that performance gain? How much time are you actually saving from those performance gains? Yes, your video render times will become smaller, but compared to the Intel Macs from before 5 years ago, what you have now with the M1 Pro, for example, is still really good. And in fact, there's reports that suggest that people are holding on to their Macs longer than they did before because of how good these M-series MacBooks actually are. And it makes total sense. Now, you can bet that Tim Cook is not happy that people are buying the refurbished M1 MacBook Air and sticking with it for a decade. Apple's revenue with the MacBooks depends on upgrades every 2 to 3 years, but these Macs are too damn good. The performance gains just aren't meaningful enough for most users, but that's not a problem for us. That's a problem for Apple. In fact, this is actually amazing for us. We're getting durable, long-lasting, powerful machines. The fact of the matter is, Apple has made a product so good that it's disrupting their own sales cycle. And while they're brainstorming how to fix this, we should absolutely take advantage of it. If you already have an Apple Silicon MacBook, there's no rush to upgrade. And in fact, the smartest move might be not upgrading at all. I would urge you to deeply consider whether those performance gains are actually going to be helpful to your day-to-day life. And if you don't yet have an Apple Silicon MacBook and are considering buying one, absolutely go for it, but maybe look at refurbished options as well, as you can save quite a bit of money there. And if you found this video helpful, please do drop a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Leave a comment down below with what MacBook you're currently using and if you plan to upgrade or not. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.